Okay, let's just get right into it, shall we? There's this one big question that's kind of buzzing around in the back of everyone's mind whenever you hear the letters A and I. And that question is my job safe? It's a huge deal, and it causes a lot of anxiety. So let's try and unpack this and get some real clarity.
And yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? You hear about AI doing, well, everything. It's writing articles, it's creating incredible art, it's even writing code. It really does feel like this massive storm is brewing on the horizon, and we're all just trying to figure out if we're in a safe harbor or standing right in its path.
So what do we do when we're faced with something like this? We try to figure out where it's safe to stand. We make a list, right? You've probably seen these articles or had these conversations yourself. The top 10 AI-proof jobs. So let's start there with the common wisdom.
And yep, that list probably looks pretty familiar. You've got your therapists, plumbers, artists, judges, all the jobs that we kind of instinctively point to and go, ha, see, no way a machine could ever do that.
And the logic behind it seems pretty solid at first glance, right? I mean, these jobs are all about things that feel uniquely human. A spark of creativity, deep empathy, or just, physically working with your hands in the real world. Stuff we just assume a computer can't get. But here's the thing. Is that even the right question to be asking?
Okay, this is where things get really interesting. We have to make a big, critical shift in how we're thinking about this whole thing. We need to stop looking at job titles and start looking at something much, much smaller.
And this quote from Dr. Eris Thorne, an AI strategist, just nails it. He says, we're asking which jobs can AI not do? But the real question, the better question, is which tasks can humans do better? And when you flip it like that, wow, it changes the entire conversation.
So look at this. This really lays out the difference. That old question on the left, it's all about fear, right? What jobs are we going to lose? It's a focus on obsolescence. But the new question, the task-based one on the right, that's all about transformation. How are things going to change? It's not about being replaced, it's about evolving. And that is a way more useful way to think about what's coming.
All right, so let's do it. Let's take this new lens, this new way of thinking about tasks, and go back to that safe list we started with. Because we're not looking for a safe harbor anymore. We're drawing a map of transformation.
First up, the artist. I mean, this is the classic example, right? The definition of a job that should be totally safe from automation.
But again, let's break it down into tasks. For a long time now, AI tools have been getting really good at the technical stuff. All the complex photo editing, the repetitive operations, you could even call it the grunt work. So, does that replace the artist? No way. It actually frees them up. It shifts the role from being a technician to being a pure visionary, the curator of the idea.
Okay, next case, the therapist. Now, if any job feels 100% human, this is it. It's all about empathy, trust, human connection. Surely AI can't touch this.
But what are the tasks? Well, an AI could provide 24/7 listening support. It could administer routine cognitive behavioral therapy exercises. And what does that do? It frees up the human therapist to spend their time on the really deep work, tackling the most complex cases, guiding those huge emotional breakthroughs. So the therapist isn't gone. They've just transformed from a generalist into a top-tier specialist.
All right, let's switch gears to a physical job, the plumber. And yeah, we're probably not going to have a robot squeezing into a tiny crawl space anytime soon, but thinking about that is kind of missing the bigger picture.
Because where can AI excel? Diagnostics. Imagine an AI that analyzes data from pipes to predict a failure before it happens. Or think about augmented reality glasses that show a plumber the exact spot to cut. The human is still the one doing the critical physical work, but now they're not just a plumber. They're a high-precision, AI-guided technician. It's a whole new level.
And for our last case study, let's look at the judge. This is a role we see as the peak of human wisdom and complex judgment.
But here's the key thing to realize. Is spending months sifting through millions of legal documents wisdom, or is it really just massive-scale data processing? An AI can be the best legal clerk in history. It can find every single relevant case instantly, with no bias. So the AI doesn't replace the judge, it supercharges them. It gives them perfect information so they can focus on the one thing only a human can do. Make that final, difficult, value-based judgment.
And when you lay it all out like this, you see the pattern, right? It's so clear. In every single one of these safe jobs, the role doesn't get destroyed. It gets distilled. It gets elevated. The focus shifts away from the tedious, the technical, the data crunching, and moves toward the visionary, the deeply human, the ethical. That old safe list, it's not a list anymore.
It's a map for how things are going to transform.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Where does this leave us? Well, it brings us to the most important idea of all, a totally new way to think about what our value is as humans in this new age of AI.
I want you to think about it like this. AI is like this incredible force that just strips away all the fat from a job. It takes away all the predictable parts, the repetitive tasks, the number crunching, and what are you left with? You're left with the core, the essential, irreplaceable, sometimes messy, but always brilliant part that is purely human.
And that means these are the skills that are about to become more valuable than ever. It's not about having all the answers anymore, because the AI can do that. It's about asking the right questions. It's about managing those tricky, complex relationships between people, making those gut-wrenching ethical choices, and leading teams when things are uncertain. This, right here, this is the new resume, the new human toolkit.
And this idea really sums it all up. The AI, it can build the skyscraper. It's the ultimate tool, right? It can execute the most complex plans imaginable faster and more perfectly than we ever could. But we have to be the architects. We're the ones with the vision. We decide what to build in the first place, why we're building it, and who it's for. So at the end of the day, the question we need to leave you with isn't, is my job safe? That's the old question. The new question is this. If AI is the most powerful tool humanity has ever created, what are you going to be the architect of?